Hi Dumelang, welcome back to my channel. My name is Annah, and if you are a returning subscriber, I really do appreciate you. And if you are new to the channel, then welcome guys to another video. So as you guys can see by the title, we are going back to a bit of EPIK content. So I posted a question sticker on Instagram. The EPIK application is still open, so you can still apply. So I said, if you are still interested and you have a few questions about it, please do send them through. I would be happy to then answer it. So I did answer the questions on there, and then there were a few video requests, and one of those was this video. Anna, please, can you do? Anna, please. Dear timeline video, like what is the EPIK timeline? So that is why we are here today. But if I'm being honest, I really did miss these sit-down videos. I actually enjoy the sit-down videos and chatting with you guys like this. So let's get into the video.
Yeah. Here's to the good days. Here's to the sorrows. If this is a mistake, I know about tomorrow.
Alright, so guys, I will be looking down below because notes. We don't want to go off track, and I always want to make sure that I'm giving you guys the correct information. So before I record a video, as well as when I'm on the video with you guys, I make notes, and I also go straight to the source, which is the EPIK website. And if I can't find something on there, I would usually just email them and then record another video for you guys. But anyways, let's get into it. So the EPIK timeline. So when you are applying to EPIK, there are 2 intakes a year. So they have a spring intake and a fall intake. So spring, fall goes according to the time of the year that you come. So if you are coming in August, we are coming in the fall season. And then if you come in February of the year, that would be the spring intake. I came in the spring intake. I came in February of this year. But I don't want to necessarily speak about the spring intake because it might confuse you guys a little bit if I speak about those months, because that's not what we're heading into right now. So you guys coming now in August of 2022, that would be the fall intake. So we're going to be strictly speaking about the fall intake and just using those dates. You can find this timeline on the EPIK website. So it is there. Let me just give you guys, I don't know if you can see it. I will also just share the link for you guys, but this timeline is on their website. It isn't detailed, and it just gives you like a rough estimate. There isn't specific dates. It just gives you like months. But anyway, let me stop chit-chatting. Let's get into it. So fall intake. So application process is 6 months. For the fall, it runs from February of 2022 to July of 2022. That is the application. So it's February, March, April, May, June, July. 6 months. We're not counting August because August you'll be flying and coming here. So 6 months. That's how long the application process takes. And it has 9 or 10 application stages. So on their website, it gives you the 9 stages. But in my experience, because of COVID, I'm adding a 10th one. And I'm making it 10 because of quarantine. But we'll get into that later. I'll explain it a little bit later. So applications open in February 2022. So that's when you can submit your application to apply to teach through the EPIK program. So again, when you apply, you can either apply directly on your own by going onto the EPIK website and submitting your application on there, or you can apply through an agency. Now, there's only one agency that is working directly with EPIK this year, and it is Coffia Consulting. But there are many other agencies that would assist you in the process. So they would at least assist you with checking your documentation in order, that your essays are in order and things like that, before you then go to the EPIK website yourself and submit it on there. But if you're working with Coffia, when you go onto the EPIK website and you submit your application, it would first go to Covia, and they will just check everything first, so proofread, check everything is in order, and if they're happy with it and think, okay, this person has a good chance of getting hired by EPIK, they then send it through to EPIK. So that's how it would work with directly yourself, or through Covia Consulting, an agency. But yeah, then that is in February. So they've got here that you submit an application between February and July. That's why I said they're very vague on this website. So applications opened, they don't have an exact deadline for applications closing. I didn't find that on their site. So guys, if you are interested, apply before it closes. Next, stage 2. Stage 2 is that applicants who have passed the initial application screening stage will be invited for an online interview with EPIK. Now, interviews, according to the website, starts from April. So we are now in the month of May, but you'll find that even though some of you are still applying, those that applied prior, some of them have already started to have their interviews. So interviews start in April. And these interviews can run into June, from April right into June. So it really just goes according to the demand, so the amount of positions that they've got, and have they filled those positions. If not, hey, we're still looking. They don't close the application deadline, they keep it going. But yeah, guys, you can expect an interview from April, I believe, right into June. Cool. Stage 3. Stage 3, if you have passed the interview, they would usually give you your interview result within 3 days. So the day you have your interview, 3 working days later, within that time frame, you would get an email saying you've passed, EPIK would like to give you an offer. And this email usually comes from Covia Consulting if you've applied with an agency, and this year it's Covia, so they would email you. Or if you apply directly to EPIK yourself, EPIK would then send you the comms. So within 3 days, you get that communication. So once you've successfully passed the interview, you then need to submit the required documents directly to EPIK. So once you get that email saying, yes, you've passed, you courier your documentation to EPIK. So if you're applying through an agency, it gets couriered to your agency, and your agency will get it to EPIK. That's what I did in my case. But if you apply directly to EPIK, you would then courier your documentation to EPIK. So now you've passed. They now want the physical documents, because everything else they've had online. Now they want you to send the physical documents. Those physical documents being your signed application form, your apostilled degree, your TEFl certificate. What else is in there? Your Annah. Guys, I'll put it here on the screen. So these are the documents that you would need to courier. These are the documents that you would need to courier to EPIK or your agency, who then takes it to EPIK once you've passed your interview. And that is stage 3 of the application. Now, on their website, it says that you have April until July to courier these. So as soon as you have your documentation, send it through. It takes this long because there's so many different stages that you need to go through with getting your documents apostilled, so on and so forth. There are so many videos that talk about the documents that you need to apply to EPIK, and where you can get it all done and how much it costs. There are many videos. Letty has done a video. I will link her channel down below on the documentations. But I'll also just give you guys a list here on the documents that are needed, just so you can see it on screen. But those are the documents that you need to apply, and those are the documents that you then need to courier to EPIK in stage 3. And because some of these documents take months to get, that's why they've given you that window period, because they know it takes time. And also, if you applied only now in May, June, July, August, if you applied now in May, you would still also need to courier your documentation after you've passed your interview. So yeah, stage 3, April, May, June, July, you can still be in the process of sending your physical documentations. Okay, next we're moving on to stage 4. Stage 4 says applicants who submit all the required documents correctly will have the application recommended to their provincial office. So the officers of education will then review your application and make a final decision on a submitted application. And this happens from April. Again, they've just noted April to July here. So guys, there's time, but remember, you need to be quick with it, because it says your applicants who submit all the required documents will then be recommended to a provincial office. So what they mean by this is, so once you've applied to EPIK does the screening, you get your interview, they say you pass, you send them your documents, stage 3, then stage 4, they need to recommend you after you've sent them the documents. So now they have your application and they have your physical documentation. They put this together, they send it to provinces in South Korea that are looking for English teachers from EPIK. So they send it. Those provincial officers, they have a look at your application, your profile. Yes, they're judging you to see, will this person be a good fit for our school? They think, this is the person, we're good with what we're seeing, sharp, send them an offer, we would like to have them at our school. So obviously, I don't think it probably goes the way that I'm saying it, where they are like judging you like that. But yeah, guys, that's what happens in stage 4. EPIK recommends you. So they send your application, they recommend you to a provincial office. They say, hey, so we have these teachers for you. Yeah. Stage 5 says, applicants who have been selected by an office of education will receive documents necessary for applying for your visa. Now that you have been recommended, which is stage 4, stage 5, you've got placement, you get your placement. So you will get an email from your province of education, and they will say, well, not they, you'll get an email from EPIK or your agency to say, hi, the province that you'll be working at is, so they tell you which province you'll be working in, where you'll be teaching. Just the province. That's the only detail you get, the province. So you then get your contract. You get your contract. You get your letter of appointment. It's great news. It's official. It's now official. And I'm saying it's official because, remember, I applied 3 times to EPIK. And I've passed my interview 3 times. But I didn't get to the placement stage. I only got to applying, passing interview, and I didn't get to the stage where they recommended me to the province and the province giving and then getting a placement. So I didn't get to getting a placement, which is why I'm saying in stage 5, when you've been recommended, you get your placement offer, and that's where they send you the documents needed to apply for your visa. These documents are your notice of appointment, your contract. It's now official. When I got my placement, I knew that this time it's happening. So yeah, guys, this timeline for the 5th stage, which is getting your placement, this usually happens in June. So you can expect this to happen in June and July. June and July, that's when you can expect to get your placement, to get your contract. June, July. Okay. Now, on to stage 6. Stage 6, it says applicants will apply and obtain the necessary visa for teaching in Korea at their local Korean embassy or consulate. Now, stage 6 is applying for the visa. We are applying for a visa now. And this stage, it happens from July and August. Between July and August, you are applying for that visa. And the visa can take 14 working days, if I remember correctly. But it may go quicker now in South Africa because COVID regulations have lessened. Is that even the right word? Anyways, we are now, we've got the visa. Applicants will apply to get the visa. That is stage 6, July and August. We are doing the visa application. I do have a video for you guys on applying for your visa, where I just tell you guys how to fill in the visa application form, where to go, and just some tips on that application submitting, because I went at a certain time and I got there and They cut me. They're like, no, girl, we only take applications at this time. She was not even hearing me out. Doesn't matter what excuse I came up with. And the security guard told me, she's like, there was a girl who came all the way from Durban to come and do this, and they sent her back. They said, So yeah, guys, I do have a video for you to help you guys on that. That's stage 6. Stage 7 of the application. Applicants will arrange a flight into Korea. So between July and August, you are now booking your flights. Yes! It's exciting. You're now booking your flights, and we passed that anxiety and stress phase because, you know, the documents, the interviews, all of that is stressful and it's anxiety. But the minute you click pay for your flight ticket, hallelujah, hallelujah. It's an amazing feeling, and at the same time, it's like you have to keep pinching yourself. I keep pinching myself, saying, this is really happening. I can't believe I am leaving South Africa, leaving everything I know to work abroad and live abroad. So yeah, stage 7, you purchase your flight tickets, and this purchasing happens in the month of July to August. So yeah, and at that same time, when you arrive in South Korea, you purchase your flight ticket, you fly, you land in Korea, then you get picked up by a bus. An EPIK bus will come and pick you up at the airport, which is in Seoul. So you all are going to be flying to Seoul, and you get picked up by EPIK. Now, this is where I add my other stage to the application. So on their website, it says you get picked up at the airport and led to orientation. That's what happened before COVID. Before COVID, you got on the bus and you all went to orientation for a week. But now we have COVID, and what happens now is that you get on the bus and you are taken to quarantine. So you now quarantine. Some people had to quarantine for 14 days. I quarantined for 10 days. But if you watched my last video, I would link it somewhere here. So if you watched my last video, I then asked EPIK, is it mandatory for you to get a vaccine? And they came back to say, it's not mandatory, but we would prefer. And then they said, but if you are vaccinated, based on the COVID regulations we now have, you don't need to quarantine. So if you've been vaccinated and regulations stay the same, you wouldn't need to quarantine. So then that means that you fly a little bit later to Korea. When you land, the bus takes you to orientation. But if you haven't received full vaccination, you need to quarantine. So the bus is not taking you to orientation. You are going to quarantine first, which means you would need to fly to Korea a little bit earlier, depending on how long you need to be in quarantine for. So land, get on bus, EPIK bus takes you to where you need to quarantine, and then you quarantine for a few days. And then after that quarantine, you then would go to orientation, EPIK orientation, and that happens in the month of August, late August, and orientation is a week. After everybody's gone through orientation, you all go at the same time, obviously. So that's why I'm saying if you need to quarantine, you'll come a few days earlier, so you've got time for quarantining and then orientation. I hope that I'm not confusing you guys. I hope I'm not. I hope that you guys are following along with me. So yeah, now we've done orientation, which lasts a week. This will happen late August. After that, during orientation, that's when you get to mingle with other teachers from all over the world coming to teach in Korea. You'll get lecturers that come in and speak to you about life in Korea, and speak to you about lesson planning, and you actually have to do a lesson plan with a partner, and you guys need to then give a demo lesson to your class. So that's experience that you're gonna have there. The campus that we're on was beautiful, so it's your first taste and experience of South Korea, and it's going to be there at orientation. So enjoy it. I'm actually take in the things that those lecturers come and tell you. They tell you about apps that you need to survive. Download those apps while you're there. I downloaded most of the apps that I needed while I was in orientation, and I'm glad I did. So please take in the information that they give you, and it's also an opportunity for you to ask questions to things that you didn't know, or like people like myself or other people that are sharing this experience didn't tell you and you still have questions. It's also a place where you can ask these questions. I remember I asked them, obviously I had many questions, well, a few questions, but the one main one that was a highlight to the questions I asked, one of them was, I asked them if they've been in experiences of racism or discrimination because of skin color in the Korean schools, where teachers have come to them to say, hey, this is what I'm experiencing in my school, please move me. Have there been those instances, and how do they deal with it? And I asked this to the provincial officer. So there's somebody that comes from your province, the EPIK office from your province. They come to speak to you. That's also the same day that you get to sign your contract, and you get to see which city you are placed in that province, and what school you'll be teaching at. So these things you didn't know until orientation. Only in orientation you find out that the city you've been placed, the school you'll be teaching at, and if you'll be teaching at multiple schools, but that's not always the case, because when I signed my contract, it just said that one school. Then I got to my school, and it turns out I'm teaching at the elementary and the middle school. But I will do that in a separate video. I'll talk about things EPIK doesn't tell you until you are in South Korea. That's a video for another day. So, yeah, that is the last stage. After orientation, you now start working as an English teacher in South Korea, and that is stage 9 if you didn't need to quarantine, or it's stage 10 for those that did need to quarantine first. So teaching then happens, it says here, late August you start teaching. Is the timeline that they've got on here. So guys, that is the timeline if you are applying in the fall intake, so to start teaching, or at least to work in Korea in August 2022. So I really hope that you guys found this video helpful. If I didn't cover anything, or you have any questions, or I left out something, please do comment down below, because we're all here to help each other out. So yeah guys, I really do appreciate you clicking on this video for 1, watching and getting to this part for 2, and 3 for subscribing, and 4, please do share this video with other people that you believe would be helpful to get this information. I really want to help out as many people as I can to just grab this opportunity with both hands. I mean, if you asked me 5 years ago, do you see yourself, if you told me that I would be teaching English in South Korea, nah, leave home, go to Korea. Yeah, no. That's definitely not something I envisioned for myself, but I am so glad that I took this opportunity. And with this being said, I have been getting a few messages of people asking me, Anna, I'm graduating soon, or I'm a university graduate, or when do you think is a good time to apply? Another question that I get is, how do I know that, I'm not making a mistake by doing this application and coming to teach in Korea? How do I know that, things are going to go well? So I do want to do a video where I address those questions and those feelings in a separate video. Otherwise, this video is going to be long. Yeah, let me stop talking here. Thank you so much if you got to this part of the video. I really do appreciate you guys. Guys, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So please do subscribe if you haven't already. And if there's something that you guys want to see with regards to EPIK, please do message me down below. I know somebody did say that they would like to know what happened with my phone. Was I able to use it when I got here? What did I do? SIM cards, adapters. So I'm happy to do that. Another video that I want to do for you guys is how to catch the bus. because on my first attempt, I say bereki. Kitimeji, barely with shoe. I ended up just calling a cacao taxi, like Uber, to come and fetch me because I just couldn't figure it out. And I think also because I was scared. Nkilo bona omo country outside saving out silo language dololo, and then also you don't know anybody, so Becky Trile, I think also Becky Trile at the same time. And the way that things are so fast when it comes to buses, like that bus doesn't wait. If you want to get on, you have to get on, and you have to also get it to stop. Don't just stand there and think it's going to stop for you. That's not how it works. And also when you want to get off, it doesn't get off at every stop. You need to notify, I want to get off. You click a button. But anyway, we'll do that in another video. You see, I'm chit-chatting. Goodbye. I'm wishing you guys all a great day further wherever you are in the world, and have a lovely week. I really do appreciate you guys. I love you lots. Goodbye.